Remember where you were when you first heard of the Mandela effect?
Nothing can stop the Mandela effect, and nothing can stop what is coming. So put on your tinfoil hats and hold on for this ride.
Let me tell you why you're here. You felt it your entire life. That there's something wrong with the world. You don't know what it is, but it's there. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. What truth? That you are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage. You take the blue pill, the story ends, and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Is the world that you know. The world as it was at the end of the 20th century. It exists now only as part of a neural interactive simulation that we call the Matrix. You've been living in a dream world, Neo. This is the world as it exists today. Welcome to the desert of the real.
Remember where you were when you first heard of the Mandela effect?
I keep pointing out everybody is Mandela affected. There are no exceptions. Everybody's going through it. Some people will fight tooth and nail to deny it. The Mandela effect's real. You people need to stop denying it.
No such thing as the unaffected. We only have deniers.
Today's pseudo-scientific paradigm is designed to take you out of reality and into pseudo-reality. Real science becomes fake science when arguments based on consensus belief trumps observational data. When Mandela effect pushers make arguments on the authority of collective memory, they're using fake science to prop up a false paradigm. They are misinterpreting observational data by not accounting for their fallibility of the observer, in this case, themselves. This is why objective evidence matters. Individual perceivers are not only capable of being wrong, but they are also doubly capable of defending their wrongness once it becomes entrenched as dogma.
These people from the Orion Spur Earth with the white sun, they're saying that we're becoming a cult and a dogma, and we're crazy. They are correct. It's turning out to be a cult of lies because nothing physical or proof can cross over the universe. Anything that's material cannot cross over the universe to this planet. So our memories are wrong because our proof stays behind. Nothing can cross over the universe.
What can be asserted without evidence can also be dismissed without evidence. Hitchens' razor. Extraordinary claims without evidence can be disregarded without reference to counter evidence.
This video belongs to Thirst for Truth. He's a conspiracy theorist, investigator, The reason they don't believe in the Mandela effect is because they belong on this earth. To them, their reality has never changed, which they are correct. We, from the Sagittarius armed travelers, have a different memory. But our memories is not going to hold up in court. That is not physical proof. That's why these people from the Penguinati Club are trying to help us. They're on our side. They're not enemies. They're trying to help us because what we're saying cannot be proved or proven. He is correct. Just like all my videos that I make or every word that I speak, I cannot prove it because I have no proof.
The claims of the affected are well-intentioned misremembrances and are unfalsifiable. They assert their Mandela effect is true, even though the theory cannot contradicted by an observation or the outcome of any physical experiment. When one so-called effect is debunked, they move on to the next one. Nothing can prove it wrong. The person making the claim owns the burden of proof. There is no obligation on behalf of the skeptic to provide evidence to counter such a claim. Occam's and Hitchens' razors are enough.
This guy is correct. We have no proof, no evidence. The residue that we have doesn't exist. It's just a picture. But that doesn't mean it exists in real life. Just like that plane picture has the motors underneath the wing. But in this reality, in this real world, it never happened. The motors of the airplanes are in front of the wings. That's what this guy is telling us. Our memories are wrong here on this earth. And he's trying to help us see the real reality. But our memories tells us different. It's all our memories. That's all we have is memories.
Miracle, an extraordinary and astonishing happening that is attributed to the presence and action of an ultimate or divine power. Why do people want the Mandela effect to be true? Because it's miraculous. People choose to believe in miracles for many reasons. It's an escape from objective reality over which we are ostensibly powerless. Miracles make us players in a bigger cosmic game. Miracles are comforting, validating, and life-changing. The Mandela effect, referred to as ME by its true believers, is a miraculous occurrence. To experience a Mandela effect is to have penetrated the programming of the matrix and gleaned insights into the holographic, shifting, and subjective nature of reality. Miracles have traditionally been associated with religions as their claims to authenticity. The performance of miracles in front of witnesses is all it takes to start a cult of believers. Cults of believers provide all the social and cognitive reinforcement required to ensure the group grows. So long as the miracles are legitimate and the faith is strong, the cult will persist. Such aggregate of believers gain confidence and even belligerence as their numbers reinforce the meaningfulness of the miracle which has brought them all together. Leaders in such groups will invariably have to warn the believers about the non-believers.
And this is what's happening to me 6 years ago when the Mandela effect people were attacking me or banning me from their chat rooms because I was talking differently, because I told them nothing was changing. So the cult members were attacking me, especially in EYA channels, saying that the Bible changed. And I told them, no, you're just reading a different book, not changed. And I got banned. And the people are coming to my channel and leaving messages that I don't belong in the Mandela effect because I don't believe in changes. So to them, I'm not affected. I'm just contradicting what they're saying because that's insane what they're telling you because they're inside a cult.
Those heretics whose words have the power to disintegrate the cult. Such nonconformers must have to be corrected or exiled. These exiles will be demonized in the harshest of terms to ensure the others don't make the same error. The Mandela effect is caused by faulty eyewitness testimony, influenced by the suggestions of the person who is pointing out the supposed discrepancy. It's not a paradigm-shattering revelation. It only appears that way to those who are affected. A million people misremembering can add the illusion of credibility to any supposed Mandela effect. It only takes a fraction of the population to misremember something for a viral video on the topic to get a show of support in favor of the supposed discrepancy. It has long been speculated that mistaken eyewitness identification plays a major role in the wrongful conviction of innocent individuals. A growing body of research now supports this speculation, indicating that mistaken eyewitness identification is responsible for more convictions of the innocent than all other factors combined. The Innocence Project determined that 75% of the 239 DNA exoneration cases had occurred due to inaccurate eyewitness testimony. It is important to inform the public about the flawed nature of eyewitness memory and the difficulties relating to its use in the criminal justice system, so that eyewitnesses' accounts are not viewed as the absolute truth. The suggestion of a discrepancy is all it takes. That suggestion of a misperception is an example of gaslighting.
So these people from the Orion Earth think that we're lying to them, but we're not. We have a different memory. When I was a kid, I used to eat Fruit Loops, Fruit, loops. That's what I remember because I read the box for myself. I was there on that earth that had Fruit Loops. Cornflakes was spelled with the K. Corn flakes with the K. That's what I saw on my earth. But here it doesn't exist. So they're letting us know that our memories is not proof that we're saying the truth. We cannot prove the Mandela effect. That's why these people are trying to help us to stay focused on reality, not an illusion, a mind trick. That's what the Mandela effect is. It's a mind
subtle
trick.
Form of psychological abuse where the victim is caused to doubt their own sanity and perception. When someone says, Are you sure you know that? Or everybody knows. It chips at your confidence in your own perceptions. The interrogator framing the question has the great power to influence what is recollected. For example, if an interrogator asks, "Notice anything strange about your favorite brand of peanut butter?" the answer would mostly be unrelated to the Mandela effect. But what if the question is posited as, "Do you remember that famous brand of peanut butter as Jif or Jiffy?" Then you have to choose your side. Was it Jiffy or Jif? When such a question is asked, your cognitive bias towards what feels right will naturally lead you to a confident response. That initial confidence plus the interrogator bias reinforces that answer. In the absence of counter evidence, they have no reason to doubt their recollection. The problem is, there is no counter evidence. Either they remember it right and the evidence confirms this, or they are wrong, but their bias will now attach them to the wrong answers. Bottom line, the Mandela affected are wrong. But the way it was framed led them to choose the wrong answer where the evidence is no longer in this reality. This is a subtle sleight of mind trick, and it works. The Mandela pusher is telling you to doubt your perceptions. Gaslighters do the same. Are you certain? When certainty was never important or necessary. It's not about Jif or Jiffy or misremembered song lyrics. It has no implications for reality. The gaslighting Mandela effect pusher get the questionnaire to accept the premise that reality is fake. Their job is to make reality a dream, simulation, or illusion. That way, your critique on fake news carries no weight. If you think your dog was a cat yesterday, then you're no longer a credible witness of anything. And you're a candidate for involuntary incarceration.
This man is correct. If you keep talking changes and telling people things are changing, they're going to stick you in a mental hospital and give you depression pills or delusional pills. Please listen to this guy. He's trying to help us.
Witnesses can be subject to memory distortions that can alter their account of events. It is of particular interest that the memory of an eyewitness can become compromised by other information, such that an individual's memory becomes biased. The Mandela affected interrogator is contaminating the witnesses. This is called retroactive interference. Another phenomenon that may interfere with an eyewitness's memory is retroactive interference. This occurs when new information is processed that obstructs the retrieval of old information. A common source of interference that may occur after the event of a crime is the reporting of the crime. Police investigations includes questioning that is often suggestive. The processing of new information may disrupt or entirely replace.
So we need to determine what is real and what is fake. What is fake is the Mandela effect. It's real because we've seen it. it's inside our memories. There is no way we can change our memories. All we can say, it changed. It looked like it changed, but it never did. That's what the confusion is, because physical matter cannot change. This is the reality that we're on right now. The reason people are talking nonsense is because they don't realize they're on a different earth, reading a different Bible, looking at a different item, physical item. That's it.
Old information. The matter is further complicated when large numbers of people who are in total agreement about something they are wrong about introduces social and cognitive reinforcements of those incorrect memories. Psyops in the news are being exposed daily. Their way of contaminating the research pool is by suggesting people who don't believe or trust the news cannot trust their own perceptions nor trust their own judgment. They use conspiracy theorists, people with theories and guesses but no real actionable evidence, to hide the real deceptions. The more they can get perceivers to doubt their perceptions, the more those perceivers will be forced to rely on experts.
Okay, let's get into the Mandela effect. This one's pretty famous. The only explanation I have is that the McMahon made a singing video, remembering that he was delivering checks. It's because he was traveling with us. He came to this earth with his memory from the Sagittarius arm to the Orion arm. That's what he made a song about it. Or somebody gave a check to Johnny Carson on his show saying that he was $1 million winner. That means the creator that created that show came from our earth. He remembers McMahon giving out checks, but it never happened on this earth. McMahon worked for American Publishing Clearinghouse here. He never delivered envelopes. So that proves that we're on a different earth with a different history. The reason McMahon did a video is because he came from our planet. All the residue evidence are from creators that remember our earth history.
The more they rely on experts, the less they know directly. This is what it makes them into believers and followers. President Trump said it may be necessary for people with mental illness to be involuntarily confined. Mandela effect attacks the idea of objective reality. If nothing is objective, then there is no truth. A Mandela effect affected person is in no position to take the media to task for making extraordinary statements without evidence. It's a self-discrediting for a perceiver to admit no ability to admit when they are caught in an emotional attachment to a wrong answer.
And the only reason I joined the Penguinati Club, IPS, is because there are expert debunkers. And I respect them.